right, let's head over to Steve Christakis at the Sports HQ with some tennis action.
Yes, let's get to the clay court, Manila. And the Swiss Open continued with round of 16 action, where 7-seed Laszlo Djere was looking to stay hot, taking on qualifier Zizou Bergs of Belgium. The Serbian off to a great start with that new world number 52 ranking. Breaks Bergs here in the fifth with the backhand winner down the line. Goes on to take the first set 6-2, looking to climb those ranks even more. Now, there's an old saying that lightning never strikes twice, but Tampa Bay begs to differ. The squad went back-to-back, winning their second Stanley Cup in a row after defeating the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. And it all went down Wednesday night on the Bolts home ice, taking Game 5 1-0 over the Habs. Ross Colton provided the lone goal midway through the second period. And the sun has officially set on Phoenix after the Bucks sealed the deal in Game 6, winning the series 4-2 at home in Milwaukee for their first NBA title since 1971. The Bucks claimed their second Larry O'Brien trophy in franchise history behind an all-time great performance by the Greek freak himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The two-time league MVP dropped a 50-piece on Chris Paul and his Phoenix team en route to their 105-98 victory. After starting the series in an 0-2 deficit, Giannis put the squad on his back as they rattled off 4 straight to eclipse the Suns. The 26-year-old from Athens earned Finals MVP. All right, now resilience is the word that comes to mind as the most decorated American gymnast made her triumphant return to the Olympics for one last chance to earn an individual medal in Tokyo. Simone Biles did just that, taking bronze in the balance beam final, adding to her massive total of 32 world championship and Olympic medals combined. Just as she did in Rio, Biles earned third place with a score of 14 even.
It is the upset heard around the district. Obviously, a world number 3, Rafael Nadal, crashed out last night in that stadium right behind me. You see his face all over it, but he is no longer here, the headliner, but it's all right. He had a good run. Fans loved seeing him, but...
Let's go over to Steve Christakis at the Sports HQ, because he got to sit down with the newest winner of the U.S. Open. Steve?
Manila, let me tell you, earlier today it was incredible to have a chat with the U.S. Open champion, Daniil Medvedev, and I had a chance to pick his brain a bit on what was going through his head during the match, and then I started by asking him what the past 24 hours have been like after such a giant career achievement. It does seem like you have an affection, a love for the city of New York and the fans, even though they do give you a hard time, they do heckle you, they were even booing at points during your serve and your routine. Did that affect you at all, or did that just motivate you?
Yeah, it was not easy, especially if, with the pandemic we didn't have fans for some time. The thing is that they supported me throughout all the week a lot, and there was no love-hate relationship this year. And I think they just, it was not against me, they really wanted Novak to win. There was a lot of Serbian fans in the stands. It definitely was not an easy moment, but that's what makes it even sweeter.
Yes, and speaking of that, you said that you could tell they wanted Novak to win. Now you're up in the third set. You're on the brink of winning, you know, but the crowd starts getting behind Novak as he makes that final push. And when he saved the first championship point, what's going through your head there?
Steve?
Yes, Manila, it was round 16 action at that Mexican Open, and we saw the world number 4, Stefanos Tsitsipas, cruise into the quarterfinals after his match with qualifier J.J. Wolf. Now, the disparity between the Greek and the American, very obvious from the start. Tsitsipas playing a perfect match 5 games in. He had an 89 win percentage on first serve, playing some stellar defense at the net. Women's national team have been no stranger to lifting trophies, winning 4 out of 8 World Cups. And on Wednesday night, they were going for their 5th She Believes Cup with a win over Iceland. It would also be their 3rd in a row, and they had no problem attaining the three-peat, picking it up scoreless until the 37th minute. Katerina Macario receives the ball ahead from distance, curls in a beautiful right-footed rocket to open things up for the Americans. Absolutely brilliant strike to the far post. And since joining the squad in January 2021, no player has scored more goals from outside the box than Macario. More from her. And round 28 of the EuroLeague season is about to tip off. But first, we had a round 19 makeup game where Crvena Zvezda was seeking their first home win of the season against Fenerbahce Istanbul. So in Belgrade, Crvena came out on a mission, rocking the red unis, while the Turkish side, teetering on that 8th and final playoff spot, would be a tough out. Fenerbahce's Marko Guduric launches a prayer as the shot clock expires, and it goes to pull within 5 in the second quarter. But later on, Nando De Colo with a nice bounce pass to Danilo Barthel in the lane, and the easy finish. Fenerbahce just chipping away all game long, down 4 at the break, but third quarter now still down 5 at this point. Barthel showing off some post moves with some brilliant footwork there, gets the bucket, game high 15 for him. Now skip ahead, 2 minutes left in regulation. Istanbul up 1 for the first time in the game, but not for long. Nikolai Kalinic drives, muscles one in for Crvena to regain the lead. And they didn't look back. The Belgrade side goes on to win on their home court for the first time all season, 74-69 your final. They improved to 10-15, but still way out of the playoff picture, while Fenerbahce drops to 12-12, but are just a half game back in that 8th spot. And at the top of the A-League table, Western United keeps going back and forth with Melbourne City for first place. Heading into their match, though, with Perth Glory, United just 2 points back. So heading into day 11 of those winter games, all eyes were on one young phenom, Kamila Valieva, who took to the ice for the first time since the controversial ruling, allowing her to continue the quest for Olympic gold. The 15-year-old Russian figure skater posted the top score in the women's short program on Tuesday, starting off with a triple axel and holding it together to finish strong, notching a 82.16. The result means she qualifies for the free skate medal event on Thursday, where Valieva is favored to win gold. Now, according
Well, the final action-packed day of the World Rugby Sevens here in Dubai is in full swing as large crowds have flocked to witness the best men's and women's teams from all over the world in one place, competing for that coveted Emirates Sevens title. It all began with a combined 22 teams between the gents and the ladies until there were just 2 squads left standing after a thrilling weekend of action. And it wasn't just the World Rugby 7 Series, but the International Invitational Clubs.
The 2022 World Rugby 7 season is officially underway here in Dubai, with the second of 2 action-packed events kicking off today. South Africa defeated the United States in the season opener last weekend to take their 8th Emirates Dubai Sevens title, while the Australian women's team took their first gold since 2018 with a victory over Fiji. While the season opener was held behind closed doors, today that all changed as fans were welcomed back for the first time.
We're here at Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai, where the defending Gagarin Cup champions of the KHL Avangard are preparing to take on Akbars Friday, December 3rd, in the 8th edition of the KHL World Games. And the KHL is adding yet another country to its list as hosts for the Games, as the league expands their footprint and puts its mark on the world.
We're here in the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, where the final presser ahead of UFC 268 just took place. And let's just say, with all the fighters in the main event on stage, joined by UFC President Dana White, things got a bit heated. The fans in attendance went bananas, but before that exchange, the war of words had already begun, and things became personal real quick.
Well, the time has arrived, the big day we've all been waiting for, as the World Games descend on the United Arab Emirates for the first time ever, making it the 15th different country to play host to a KHL game. For Avangard and Akbars, the sticks were taped, skates were laced, and pucks frozen as the desert heat outside the arena was scorching, but the ice inside was ready to go for the main event. And you might be wondering, ice, desert, but how?
Well, that's a wrap from UFC 268 in an event that truly did live up to the hype, as the fights lasted into the wee hours of the morning in the city that never sleeps. Reporting from New York, for In Question, Steve Christakos, RT. Now, speaking of trilogy, there's been 13 of those in UFC history, but Saturday night we will witness one of the most anticipated rubber matches in recent memory when these two guys get into the octagon at UFC 264. That's right, we're talking box office names in the world of MMA.
Oh, yeah. First of all, the energy here is great. As you can see, the practice court, we got guys warming up behind us as the first matches kicked off at 2 p.m., just underway now. We have the market square over here where people are getting drinks and food beforehand. And, of course, we have my buddy here, Topspin. What's up, man?